Alright guys, today running a different K390 against a different Rex 45. The Para 3 K390, and you're not going to be able to read it because of the acid wash I did on it, but this is Rex 45. So we're going to go ahead and talk about how these two did against each other. And I also did this because besides having some other K390 coming up, when I'm done doing the carry on this, I am going to run this Rex 45. All the different ones of this particular Rex 45 run that I've seen tested were harder than just about everything else, except I believe the run of militaries, the sprint. So we'll be curious to see how they compare. I know a lot of these are in the mid to high 65 range, and I don't think I've seen any of these K390 Para 3s test above 63.5. Maybe one did. I've seen a whole bunch tested. They're all in the 63 to 63.5 range. So I'm going to go ahead and blow the cutting out. Maybe throw in a clip of the pug, and then we're going to come back and talk about how these two did. Alright, now that we watched that cutting, got it out of the way. This one I did get with the factory edge. I did use it quite a bit prior to testing. It had well past where I usually start testing. Wanted to use this to see how it actually did, since I didn't get to use the K390 PM2 that I tested. So then I went on to testing it. And on the first test for this K390, I got 180 feet fine edge, 150 feet working edge, for a total of 330 feet. Right in line with the K390 PM2, my other Rex 45 Para 3 that I tested. Really no different, no surprise, since, like I said, most of these test about like the PM2s have tested. So, sharpened it again, same way as always, ran it again. On the verification run, 186 feet fine edge, 153 feet working edge, for a total of 339 feet. Nothing wrong with it. Pretty much goes in line with what I observed during regular use at work. And brings us to Rex 45. This one has had more than enough edges, as you can tell by how far the edge is getting up from the plunge grind. I hopped in and tested this after only using one edge on it. No surprises. On the first test, I got 180 feet fine edge, 151 feet working edge, for a total of 331 feet. Sharpened it back up, ran the verification, 182 feet fine edge, 148 feet working edge, for a total of 330 feet. So if you look back in the spreadsheet in the description, it's so close, I don't even think 1% separates this and my other Rex 45 Para 3. I believe the other one did one low 180s for fine edge and high 330s for working edge, so less than a 10 feet difference on fine and working edge. Just like all the other ones, both of these sharpened up just fine. No problems deburring them or anything like that. Now, I went ahead and ran this again. I did want to see what this K390 was going to do. Was it going to be any different from the PM2? And I had not tested this one, even though it has been tested before, and I knew what it did. The biggest part of this, like I said, was now I have two reference points for Rex 45 that I know are in the mid to high 65 range. And once I can get this tested to see what the hardness is, I will. I am going to run the edge retention first, though. And like I said, I've seen from multiple different people, including Kurt, that have tested these. These are all in the low 67 range. So they seem to be done a lot like the military sprint rows, and you can tell a difference between sharpening this one and sharpening this one. This one does feel a whole lot better during sharpening, and it deburred very easily. I had no problems whatsoever. A couple passes on 16 micron on basswood, and the little bit of burr that was left that I didn't get off with the stone came right off. The edge on this comes up pretty good, as does the K390. It's easy to get them sharp enough to whittle hair. This was even easier. I did this on 16 micron, a few passes, then 5 passes per side on 1 micron, and it came up great. Super happy with the way it came up. Definitely better than the other two Rex 45 that I have. So it's going to be interesting. Now I have a couple of three K390 results. The police, that was 65.5. The Para 3, the PM2. And I have some custom K390 coming up. Rex 45, because the Shaman's coming up. So more than enough data points to compare all these, and I will bring these back when I do the other one so that you can go ahead and compare and talk about what the different results were. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, drop them down below. That's all I have. As always, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.